I will go a little more in depth on this drawing. I've mentioned that when you get into the game, your memory is completely wiped. You have no subconscious programming except from what makes your body work and your blood pump and all bodily functions. But as you grow up and surround yourself with people on a certain frequency level that will have a behavior that reflects their frequency level, you will start learning from them. And you will get all of these perspectives that will be of a lower frequency. This space will not be of the brightest light anymore. It will not be of high frequency freedom. So you will get, simply lost in the matrix. You will get no source-self connection, pretty much. You will be wrapped in like this. And when you later start questioning the world, and you start wondering, what is life? What's the meaning of this? How does it work? You will slowly but surely raise your consciousness around any of these clouds. And you might raise the consciousness enough for you to be able to take that level of consciousness that you now have within this cloud and puzzle it together and see that this other one doesn't make sense anymore. An example would be you realize that meat is not good for you. And at the same time you realize that everyone is saying that meat is good, you need it to get protein or to get whatever else it should be. And now you have a good reason to start questioning some of the other clouds, maybe especially when it comes to other foods or when it comes to what people are telling you. You might start doubting more of the things that are mainstream knowledge. So you will keep wondering and keep searching for a higher consciousness that will raise the consciousness, raise the frequency of these other clouds. And well, it's an incredibly hard job. I mean, where should you begin? What if you never begin? And everyone who is watching these videos has of course begun. They have found at least one or maybe at least two good sources of information about the truth of this game, which we wouldn't have had unless someone had really worked really hard. So the work will be a lot easier now, of course. No one would have to go through everything you would have to go through to completely actually open this one up so you can start getting a source-self connection so to be able to raise the frequency of all of these other clouds enough for them to disappear. And what will happen when you get rid of especially the first one is that you will have a source-self connection. It doesn't need to be that good, but you will have a high frequency opening within all of these clouds that you have been wrapped around. And from there you could get a better understanding of what these other clouds are doing to you, in what ways they are holding you back, and you will easier take care of them and completely remove them. And while the other clouds still are surrounding you, you will have gotten this opening And you can use it as a source yes-no pendulum, pretty much, where you can ask any question, and if the question is, for example, should I stop eating meat? Then you will have an opening that will be a source yes. If you ask, should I continue eating meat? Then you will get a cloud, and you will not be able to see through that cloud whatsoever if the source truth is giving you a cloud. So what has happened here now is that this person has reached 9/11. And yeah, sure, there could still be a little cloud here and there. There always will be, as long as you have something new to you that you want to learn more about, or something from earlier that you still haven't learned about or taken care of. And it's really no problem. It's going to be like that forever. There will always be more things to learn. But now you're experiencing a very, 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 if not completely, a high sense of freedom and empowerment. You're not wrapped in anymore. There is nothing that is hindering you from being, and from being free, and from being empowered. You will realize that any cloud that appears is something that you can deal with, no matter what the cloud is about. And you have become very skilled at dealing with the clouds. You will have had a lot of practice and a lot of experience with it. And if you now wanted higher consciousness about something, it would be because you don't have that consciousness already, which means that you would experience a cloud that is hindering you from having that consciousness. And what you simply will do from now on is to just let this cloud dissolve, and you will find yourself having that consciousness. You will find yourself being aware of the things that is relevant to be aware of for you to have this consciousness. And you will have raised your consciousness. It becomes a very simple process that you can do with whatever things that you want higher consciousness within, or higher achievement. And with many things you would need some practice, but any of the practice you would need would also be a cloud that you simply can remove and call it whatever you want. Call it a download. You simply just download either the skill or the knowledge you need to be able to perform at that level within certain things. So you have now reached highest frequency. You're very good at dealing with problems. You realize that problems aren't a negative thing. It is just the knowledge you need to gain to be able to have clarity within this thing that you now want to achieve. And you can progress very, very, very much quicker in the game. You have clarity, ultimate clarity, and it's just a matter of what else you want to achieve or experience